and just talking to people, like we were in the space. Me and you, Clark, were in the space with Ramon last night, and we were talking about music to this level. The discussion wasn't even that, but it gets into that because that's just how powerful music is. But yeah, I'm not gonna hog up the mic, just just giving my little take on it right there though. But what you got, what y'all thinking? Like I really was sending messages out when the space had first started up, so I didn't really get to catch when you were speaking, Manjana. But yeah, so what you guys thinking?
I said how the old-fashioned frequencies of music, especially in classical music and in the old church bells, was set to a different frequency to nowadays. It was set to a healing frequency, so you could go into church and they would ring the bells, and the resonant frequency of the bells would ring through the church and in the surrounding area and heal people. Old classical music, if you get old classical records, like I think pre-1950s, and you play them in your house around your plants will grow bigger and stronger. And I also believe that the opposite is possible. Music can be used to push things apart and push divides into people. Like in the 90s, I can remember conscience rap and all the fun rappers, and then the gangster rap invention happened, and the divide just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And like society's not healing anymore. We're actually all hurting.
So there's a motet from a very ancient church in the UK, and I forget exactly the name. It's like the Roslin Chapel. Roslin Chapel. There's two magnificent pillars inside, and so they've discovered a secret code. So this is really true. You can look it up. They've even transformed the secret code into music that you can now listen to on YouTube. Look up Roslin Chapel motet, and you can find it. And it's very interesting. The tones and stuff that is used in that very old encoded. It's encoded into the walls of the chapel, in this secret code that they've now deciphered, and they've made it into music. Also, there's a therapy that I've only recently discovered that uses binaural audio technology to cure addictions, like to heroin, for example. They can use audio frequencies to cure diseases now, for real, for real.
That is 100% true about that English church.
The only thing I'm wondering is if
it's also one of the oldest known churches of its kind. And I mean, really, you guys have to see the pillars to truth. The pillars are supposed to mirror the old 33rd degree Mason legend about the apprentice, the widow's son, and his murder, right? The master and apprentice pillars. It's very, very interesting stuff.
I guess my question is, if they actually have these cures, why don't they use them on people that need them? Because I'm sure there's a whole bunch of Americans suffering
Welcome to the room.
from similar things, and they're not being helped. So I wonder about that.
Ibogaine, I think it's called. It's this wonder drug that cures all addiction. Like literally,
Well, not exactly. Not exactly. To truly be able to make that statement, let me explain. So, having some knowledge about this particular subject, ibogaine is an extremely, extremely powerful substance that is psychoactive. A lot of people say that it is to DMT what what's that stuff called? Um, it's like weed, but it's not. It can send you into a bad trip. Salvia, for example. What salvia is to weed, this is to DMT. Okay, to give a comparison, to give just even a brush like across the surface, base level. So what it does is it sends you on a bad trip, and the reason why is because you get to experience all of the connected memories and experiences of your addiction. It's almost like you relive, like having a near-death experience or like reliving your life. And so you're faced with the inevitability of your choices and what it's going to lead to. Almost like Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge, when he meets death, and death shows him what the inevitable outcome is, and that's what Ibogaine does. That's how it works, and it's one of the reasons why it almost always cures addiction. Don't let anybody tell you it's a wonder drug. And the reason why I say that is because it needs to come with aftercare. Changing people, places, and things is not always an easy thing to do, and it costs money. And you can ask me. I actually know. I'm in the field right now doing the work.
Thank you very much, sir, for correcting me. I've only just discovered this substance myself. I've not tried it. I don't have addiction problems, so I don't need to try it. But thank you very much. And how do I pronounce your name? It just looks like an F, but backwards.
Very interesting stuff.
Pattern
So,
seek.
Ford Blue business, which is your ice business, and on a revenue line, it looks like you did better than expected. But when it comes to EBIT, $1.17 billion compares with the estimate. What happened to it that
Yo, Patter, your
Your
mic
mic
is
is
hot.
hot.
The mic
And
is
that was
hot.
a message from our sponsors. Thank you for that, Pattern.
thank you, Pattern. The guy who's always quiet was the loudest in the room. All right. What's up, Callie? Good to see you, Callie. Aries, I see you down there. Thank you for joining. Courtney, what's up, Courtney? How you doing? How do you think music heals the soul, Courtney?
Well, today, Clark, I drove across the Peace Bridge and the Niagara Bridge and like 4 other bridges, right?
Did you stop at the Tesla Monument in Niagara?
No, but I rode on a Tesla boat yesterday. Nikola Tesla. It was a great,
an
it was
electric
like
boat?
Maiden of the Sea in Niagara. Yeah, it was fun. It was really cool.
Fascinating.
I'm back in Buffalo, praise the Lord, with my vehicle. I can't even believe it's still here. Life is good. Amen. That's all I got, guys.
Hallelujah.
Drip, run the show for a minute.
All right. So since nobody else had anything to say right now about music, this is what I was kind of trying to get into a little bit earlier. Terrence Howard, like,
Listen, Drip. I kept my headphones on the whole way. I just shoved pizza in my mouth. Okay? I drove down the 401. That's a major highway in Canada to Niagara. And there was a couple times where I thought I was going to have to bail to the left or to the right.
yeah, I almost had a car hit me head on earlier today. I had to like swerve over and miss it.
Right?
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So that
And then
happened to
I
you?
asked him, what's the title of the room, like it didn't happen at all. It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
So
Pizza
I
first.
put my Bose headphones on, okay, because my window won't roll all the way up because of water damage. And I drove like I stole the car, okay? Like for 2 hours. And then I just cruised into the border and everything was fine. That's the truth. That's what happened today. I got my car back after a week. It was left at the Hilton, Toronto. Okay?
Welcome to Mandela's waiting room.
Welcome to America, everyone. Seriously, wow, what a trip.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now. Kind of like Prez. I'm pretty sure you know about this a lot more than I do. But with the music healing the soul thing, like Terrence Howard was getting into how certain frequencies can actually affect the DNA, and it's able to basically like how do you say? I guess regenerate cells. So supposedly or allegedly he has there's already a doctor he's working with that has a device that's able to heal you through these using frequencies, manipulating like DNA through frequencies. Do you know anything about that, Perez?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, we can talk about Royal Raymond Rife's work and how it was destroyed. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this isn't new stuff, guys. Like, this is. You could say that this is like, okay. All right, let me go ahead and just burst everybody's bubble. So, in case you're not already hip and not already aware, here's the real truth. At some point, human beings are going to rediscover psychic powers. Ooh, there you go. So, like, basically, everything that we're discovering now is like, this is not new. What is that King Solomon says in the Ecclesiastes? There's nothing new there's nothing new under the sun, right? There's nothing new under the sun. There's only things that are just being rediscovered. So, this all is part of that. This all is part of that. So, music, like the origin. A lot of people don't know this about Solomon's temple. Let's say, for example, okay, you have the two pillars, right? Yathink and Boaz, and those Joachim, Yathink, Boaz. And what's really interesting is, okay, this kid, man. Okay, all right. So first, who is this guy, right? And where is he from? So he was named after the king of Lebanon, the king of Tyre at the time, and which is Hiram, okay, King Hiram, right? But he wasn't the king's son. He was just the son of a widow. So this woman whose husband was originally a coppersmith died, unfortunately, which was awful in those times, right? Because you as a woman, you completely relied on your husband and what he did in order for your subsistence. So becoming a widow is actually a really, really horrible thing, especially when you have a child. So here's this young boy who now has no father, and so he is the one who is chosen by King Solomon to build the temple and its instruments. So this kid, he sends this kid, okay, seriously, he sends a kid to the riverbank, and the kid carves into the sand in the riverbank and makes these incredible castings in sand underground, and then they end up pouring these things into the mold that he makes, and they're gongs, they're gigantic gongs, and these gongs were rung, and since the whole floor of the Temple Mount was all made of solid stone on bedrock, it vibrated the entire city on a hill. Like the whole city would ring with the sound of the gongs at the temple when the priests were doing their thing. Like this was it's almost like you can read the Bible, you can read it in First and Second Kings, and you almost can't believe it, especially now that you know this information, right? And so like this was part of what made Jerusalem so powerful and strong, is because they had this technology, they knew about it. This wasn't some kind of this was part of their thing.
That's fascinating. What a story. That's very interesting. That's why I like getting in a room like this and talking about topics like this, because there's always something new you learn that you didn't know yesterday or the moment before. And I love that about having spaces and getting a bunch of people together and talking about it. So, Kelly, I'd like you to take a mic if you could. I'd like to get your input on.
If music wasn't so powerful, they wouldn't be able to
Seriously,
use it to
Clark, do
control
we
so
have
many
any
people.
music? Like it's 9 o'clock at night. I
Well,
mean, how
I'm
can
in my
music heal the
car,
soul if you
so
can't even hear the music, bro?
I know.
Krungbin. Play anything from Krungbin. Everything is good.
Anything is awesome. Everything is awesome.
It's a trio out of Houston,
Hey,
Texas. I've
Peter,
seen them
what's
live
up,
already a
man?
number of times.
Welcome in.
Yeah, I was gonna say Peter knows all. I'm pretty sure Peter knows about how like water. Like I guess
Oh,
if you
Peter, get on up here, buddy. Get on
Grab
up
a
here and
mic,
share
bro.
your
We'd love to
wisdom.
hear you speak.
play a certain frequency,
Oh, yeah,
heal
the
the
right
water.
frequency.
Yeah,
Yep.
yes.
Come on, Peter, take the mic and get up
The
here.
Japanese scientist who did all that research on water molecules.
So I'm not sure about Terrence Howard specifically. If someone's speaking, I can't hear them. Let me know. It's probably a mic connection thing. But I do think music can heal the soul.
Yo,
Hey, Drip, can you hear me?
Peter's in the building. What's going on? What's going on? So yeah, Peter. So
Yeah, Peter, go ahead.
how does music? How can music can music affect the water and give it like healing qualities?
What's music?
Can music do that?
Music is sounds. So when you're talking, you're singing, you're making sounds. If we used to talk in rhymes. So like I think this is one thing they said. Min chumandi fil kulmandi. And min means from, like Amen or Amen Ra. Amen Ra, the one from the big one. When you say Amen on the prayer, it's incomplete spell. The one from what? You didn't finish. So now Chumandi, Chu Min D. So something's up with this D. There's Kulmindi, that's cool, and Cal and Lock, and that's everything. That means everything. So when I said Min Chumandi Thil Kulmindi, I said from nothing came everything. So dark matter is alive. And all the numbers come from 1 through 5, and it's the shapes, the geometrical shapes that the sounds create, and that's what cymatics is. So when you hit a note, it's going to create a geometrical shape. So when you say things like when you're given love and gratitude and happy and you're celebrating, this is restructuring the water back to the 6. This is how the bees make honey. They vibrate and make that pollen, and when they vomit, the honey, it's restructured magical back to the hexagonal. Research hexagonal water. There's a website, Hexagonal Water. It's all about the water. Either we're messing up the waters or we're fixing the waters. The 440 frequencies fucking up the waters. So everything you upload to YouTube is going to get converted. It's not going to be true 432 or 414 on key A. Try that one. They tell you 432 on key A. Try 414 on key A. And so everything you're doing is the water that's responding, and the water is not from here. They say it's alien to Earth, and it's not the water that's responding. It's the minerals inside of the water, because the water is the carrier of the minerals. Min ur il. Remember, I told you min means from. Min ur, from the ground. Ur means the ground, the land. Il means it is, he is, or she is in Chaldean language. When they were translating it and they were talking about the gods, they were talking about gods. But it's not what it means in the ancient language. It just means he is, it is, or she is. The el. If I say Melka il, I'm saying that's the king. If I say Khmara il, I'm saying that's the donkey. So it has nothing to do with gods. But everything you're doing is the water responding, and the water is the carrier of the minerals, and the minerals are frequencies of light, and you're a light being that never dies, and you're from the stars, because the word star in the ancient language is where we were, and where we were is where we're going to go back to if we're worthy enough. If not, we have to play the game of life again in another avatar if this avatar expires and our light's not bright enough when that happens. We're from the future, and you're getting commandments just like somebody controlling you, like Mario Brothers. That's why you know what you're not supposed to do.
We can fuck this up. Yeah, the library prevails.
Thank you for that, Peter. That was well said and a lot of information to take in. That was
The worldwide party is coming.
genius.
Yeah, I
Very
see you
smart.
guys. I see you guys. I'm not Kevin. You guys got Kevin in here, so that shows me you guys are normal people, and you got the right people that are awake that can resonate with his message. The president next door, I've been messing with him since back in the clubhouse days, and he's a genius, and he can solve our problems for us, and he cares for the people. So I love President next door. I support him, and I'm going to vote for him, and I'm going to write in his name, and I'm going to take a picture of it, and hopefully somebody's going to create a website. Maybe he will, and we can all upload it so we can see how many votes you really had.
The websites are going up right now, guys. I've got a web dev on it right now. I've got friends here that have already found me, and it's happening. I'm currently working on world-changing software as we speak.
Thank you for joining us, Justice. Go ahead, Drip.
No, I was just gonna say, you know what, Prez? You come in here with us every day. You got my damn vote, Prez. I'm writing my shit in. You got it.
I'm
I'm
the
gonna
guy
take a
next door.
picture of it. I'm gonna take a picture of it with you, Peter. Let's post that shit. Prez. Yeah, you got my support,
I
bro.
mean,
This is
we
the
don't need
episode.
any more actors. We need real people. We're tired of the movies.
Yeah, you know that
You got it.
I said that in our
Your wish is my
The
command.
Rock. I said that in the space about The Rock. It's like, aren't we a little tired of actors?
That's
now?
all it takes, the power of the
You
people.
know?
That's the only power that I possess. And I'm not asking for it. I'm just asking to do a job and do it right.
That's what we're all looking for, someone who's going to do the job right.
All these actors,
So,
all connected. Schwarzenegger is married to Kennedy.
You know, I wasn't gonna vote, but you know what? Like, I might as well give it to somebody. And if I gave it to somebody, it would be Prez. Like, real shit. Because I'm at, like, I've shared this with y'all before. Like, fuck both of them. I'm really not, because I don't really. It's the system, like, and the system is broken. It's not going to work for us. The same shit that, Trump is a little bit different, I guess. I don't like in my lifetime, he's different from what I've witnessed
It's
growing
just
up.
good cop, bad cop. If
Slightly.
they have to put themselves out of
Yeah, that's pretty
business,
much
or somebody else
all it
will.
is.
It's what it is.
Exactly.
Controlled opposition.
His ear's not even got a hole in it. He's been pictured his
Cannot
ear
serve
today,
both money and
and
God.
there's no hole in his
It is
ear.
written.
If he got shot in the ear, there'd be a hole in it.
Man cannot serve two masters. He will love one and hate the other, or hate one and love the other. It is written.
Men have put money as the master, and money is the root of all evil.
The love of money is the root of all evil. And the real money back in the days was the water. We used to restructure the water. That was the making money. So somebody's controlling the dams. They got 58,000 dams built. That's the current of the sea, of the family members. And the reason the financial terms are in all water lingo, like when you're in debt, you're underwater, your cash flow, liquidation, freezing your assets, current of your sea. Why? Because restructuring the water is the real money. We used to worship the waters, and then they put in God we trust on the cash. And guess what kasha means in Chaldean language that Abraham and Nebuchadnezzar spoke, and Jesus. Kasha means priest. Guess what matran means? The bishop, like Metatron. And we, after the bishop, we have what's called the patriarch, the patrak, the rock, the kepid alaha, God's rock. Sounds like Kabbalah, but Kabbalah can also mean Kibala, which means she wants it, believe it or not. And Silica means she had sex with one in Chaldean. If you say that, Silakha, she had sex with one.
Thank you for them knowledge bombs, sir.
What we call words are nothing but sounds. And rearrange the letters in the word archon. Archon means numbers. My cousin's name is Archon. And in the Chaldean language, archon means numbers. Rearrange the letters in archon, you get the word Quran. And the Kabbalah is derived from the Chaldean book of Numbers, Arkan al-Kildan.
In the beginning, God said. I would argue that in the beginning, God sang.
Everything was in rhymes like jingles, like the birds. And we're from the birds. Ibert Hamama, Abraham means son of the white dove. And Semiramis and her daughter Namad, that married Noah, were bird shapeshifters, white doves.
very interesting. I like this conversation. Very deep.
The only wordy
I'm
thing I have.
reminding you when you hear things that you're remembering, and it's like reminding you because you're from the future. That's how you know it resonates or it doesn't resonate. We have a data set in our from our life experience and what we've read and who we surround ourselves with, and then we hear new information. We have to be able to know that we don't know, and we are the Chat GPT.
I have a wordy thing for you. NASA, the fake space agency,
Well, it can only become
when they do their countdown,
what
they
we
say
provide it in terms of like input.
T
So it
minus.
can only become.
President, can you hear L?
It can never become better than us.
I don't know if President, can you hear L?
I can hear
Prez,
Peter. I can hear Peter.
yeah, there
L
was.
is speaking. Go down, come back up, President. There's others speaking that you were speaking on top of without knowing.
Yeah, I'll start again. NASA.
I'm gonna bring you right back up, Press.
NASA, when they do their countdown, they say T minus and then start their countdown. If you add that T to NASA, you've got an anagram of Satan.
Yeah, and Nasa in Chaldean means she bites. And Hayya means a serpent. Ilahayya is what we used to say instead of Ilaha. It's Ilahayya. We forgot. She is a serpent. Rearrange serpent and you get present.
Oh, thank you, Peter. Also, NASA in Hebrew means deceive or lies, like to mislead.
Also, Nasha means person in Chaldean, and also means Nashin means I'm forgetting, to forget. So we go through the amniotic fluid. NASA is water research. And you forget in your mom, the amnesia fluid. And then you come back out, and now we're remembering because you're from the future, you're from the stars. You're just the light inside the body that's powering the body that will never die. You're not who you think you are in these avatars. Google who died on the day that you were born, because when someone significant dies, someone else is born significant.
Very interesting statement right there. So
We did have Torin come up too. What's going on, Torin?
Would you like to say something?
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, man. Just watering the apple tree.
That's good. Why don't you tell us what's on your mind? How do you think music affects the soul?
How does music affect the soul? Oh, in many ways. It's all good. Music kept me going through work today for 10.5 hours, so it definitely is, I think, what we all need if we're getting what we want out of it.
Yeah, go ahead, Misha.
Go ahead, Misha.
So one of the reasons why I have a lot of respect for you, Clark, Jimmy, and many other musicians that I've had the privilege of speaking with is I truly do view you guys as magicians in a way. And I think that magicians can be across the arts and they can also be across, things like technology even. But the reason why I'm saying magician is, you know, there's something about music where it is almost like magic in that I'm talking those moments where I don't know. It's like when it hits Uncomfortably Numb by Pink Floyd, you know the part, and it just like hits your soul and you feel the hairs on the back of your neck just stand up. And there's many songs like that that do it for me.
Hey,
And
when you get
sometimes
those hairs standing up and the chills, that's not you getting them. That's the water listening and hearing and responding, and that's giving you it's the water that's responding, just to let you know, inside of you.
yeah, but I mean like
If Misha was talking, I couldn't hear her at all. Maybe I should drop down and come back up.
Yeah, I'll bring you right back up.
yeah, but regardless of what causes it, I think the feeling is magical, and then the feeling is like it's not even just the feeling of the chills, I guess, but it's more like the ability for music to spark something else, and sometimes even to connect, with something spiritual. Like listen to certain songs and tell me that you don't kind of feel a closer connection to God.
What's the conductor, Misha? It's the water in the air, the water in you, the water on the motherboard, the mother water that connects all of us. That's the most powerful conductor. That's why you pour water on electronics, it shorts it all out because it connects wires that weren't supposed to touch.
And that is why I am drip. I am just but a mere drip in this whole collective body
Yeah, that's what I
Water.
was about to say. I'm like, is Drip really the Messiah, the second coming all along, just kind of hanging out in our X spaces and on the stages? And we're all just hanging out here, hanging out with Drip. And then one day he's going to go, yeah, so guys, there's something I got to tell you. See, my dad, my dad is God.
But God the Father is all of our dads. Jesus said he's his father and he's our father. Like we all have a father on this earth, but we all
Yeah,
have
we
our
all
heavenly
are
father.
technically God's children. That is true.
Just like, by the way.
Hey, I got to tell you guys something. So the prayer, the first words I ever learned in my life as a baby is the Our Father prayer in our ancient language and the Mary prayer. My dad's sister was a nun and principal in Baghdad University, and she flew to America when I'm born and hung out with us for a little bit. And so I didn't know English when I'm going to school. My uncle's name is Muffak, so I'm scared to say his name because I found out that's a bad word now. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? And fuck means think in Chaldean. So when they tell you don't say the bad word, don't say the think word, don't think. They don't want you to think. So whenever you say fuck this, fuck that, you're saying think of this, think of that, because words are sounds. And another thing, you need to know the future that instead of booking these rappers and coming to see these rappers or all these shows that's happening, you're going to be coming to see the speakers, people that are coming to speak. And the parties are going to be like what President's talking about. There's going to be parties going on, and we're going to be dancing during the day, and there's going to be live bands with the instruments tuned at the proper frequencies and amplifying those frequencies, not the digital 440 stuff. And then vocals when they're singing on top of it too, and when they're talking this, they're structuring the waters too. These people's voices are powerful. That's what's happening. So you can tell who they are on this app. Some of them are controlled by the establishment. Some of them don't know who they are yet, so they haven't woken up. So that's what's
Hello,
happening. What's
hello.
up?
How you doing?
Better than I deserve. How are you?
I'm fine.
Nice to meet you. Fine. I'm Peter.
All right.
So hello, Dana. Do you have something to add to the discussion on whether or not you believe that music can heal the soul? You think you could share something with us about that?
No, not at all. I'm just here to answer some things you guys spoke.
We're trying to throw parties and dance and do music, bro. You're welcome to join the party and shake what your mama gave you.
No, fuck that. Out.
Not everybody's going to be dancing.
You know what's funny is in the beginning of opened my first nightclub in Detroit, I had half carpet, half dance floor. And in the beginning of the night, nobody would fucking pass the carpet line. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So I had to just to get more people in the club to make them all fit in the club until they got drunk to go hit the dance floor. I had to shorten the dance floor and extend the carpet line, literally.
Did you see that video, Peter? The one of the dancing guy starting a rave, and how that pertains to leadership.
No, show it to us.
Yeah. YouTube. It's leadership lessons from a dancing guy, and he basically went viral. People, the video has gone viral, but there was a guy who made a really good video, and he talks about how one person can start a revolution, like how it works, and he showed it in real time. Like you can literally watch it happen over the course of like under 5 minutes, where this guy just was doing his thing and he was just dancing, and then eventually a second person joined him, and before you know it, the third person joined, and the minute that the third person joined, suddenly it was a party. Like everybody joined in, and people just started. And I'm sure you've seen it owning a dance club. You can attest to this. Like you've seen where it goes from zero to like suddenly crowded.
I'm telling you, I witnessed the psychology of it because they're all getting drunk, and I'm studying it. I got to figure out what the fuck, how do I got to make this thing better? So it's every day he's trying to make a well-oiled machine better. So you're tweaking, and this was one of it. They wouldn't go on the dance floor until they get drunk, and they won't pass the carpet line. It's like, what the fuck? They're like standing on the line. They won't go on it. It's like, I'm not on the dance floor because I'm not drunk enough. But once they start and one starts, and then the rest of them follow. We're like sheep. That's what's going on.
Get your back up off the ball. Dance. Come on.
Go Yeah, you can go ahead, Tor.
Hey, I just wanted to know whether maybe Peter or anyone else experienced what I experienced with music lately, and realized that I didn't know the words to most of the songs that used to resonate with me all my life. And now that we have these apps that show you the actual lyrics,
Oh yeah, you don't realize what you're saying. You're like, oh fucking can't
nope.
listen to that fucking thing anymore.
So I'm going back through all of that music again, all of the music, and I'm talking. There's everything from the 50s till now, and I'm going back through it, and I'm actually reading the words, and I'm getting immense downloads from it. Didn't realize I didn't know all the words and wasn't putting it all together, but I knew it. The music resonated with me.
What do you think? What do you think? Watermelon Sugar High they're talking about?
Watermelon Sugar High.
Yeah, you heard that song, right? Watermelon Sugar High.
Oh yeah.
What are they talking about? They're
Getting drunk on watermelon alcohol.
no, they're talking about pre-cum.
Oh man.
Wait, what? You said pre-com?
Yes, sir.
And I need more explanation of that.
The Haktui lady, you have to get her over here to give you more explanation.
That escalated quickly.
Did it escalate prematurely is the key question.
You're not supposed to let it out. If you can have orgasm without ejaculation, that's when you understand the power.
Listen, guys, this is getting a little dirty. What are we even talking about?
Find
Oh
a
That
my
was
partner.
music.
Find a
goodness.
partner where
Talking
you
about
guys
music.
can do ejaculate.
9:16 at
So
night. Holy cow.
this is X After
So
Dark, but well, I mean, music is in a way a sexual concept, so it's not crazy to me. But you know,
Think and Grow Rich. Did you read the last chapters?
I'm not much of a reader. I don't read human books. I'm a turtle.
literally every person on Earth knows that they're
That was me. My fault. I muted everybody.
that's okay.
Um,
Everyone on Earth knows that there's a. I mean, come on, for real. Like Marvin Gaye, Barry White. Come on, guys. Like there's definitely like this is the Song of Solomon, right? The only other book that King Solomon wrote was literally about sex, like and it's meant to be song, right? It's meant to be sung. You're supposed to sing poetry. Like it's this whole. There's this whole thing. It's part of the ritual to create children, which I mean, interestingly enough. But yeah, man, like music is. This is how we know. Like this is the evidence right here. This is the smoking gun, so to speak.
What do you think the most alive water is? It comes from the pineal gland, drips down your spine, and creates life. So when they suck the life out of you, they're not joking.
we got a son of the sun. He's new in the room. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing?
All love.
Are you guys talking about like the ejaculation, like withholding the seed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's factual. What you're saying, then it's true.
Semen retention. That's your light. It's your light force. Every day you're throwing that shit away, you're fucking yourself up.
Yeah, that's true. Women absorb energy, all forms of it, and when we have sex with them, even before we ejaculate, they're absorbing energy.
It's code transfers, not just energy. It's codes transfers.
Literally,
She's getting your skills and you're getting her skills.
literally. And forever, excuse me, forever after you have sex with her, you're forever a part of her body and her DNA. She has your thoughts inside of her head, your feelings, everything that's about you is part of her. Depending on complexion as well, her skin tone can change a little bit more towards yours as well. This is all part of the DNA transfer during sex. Yeah, when you ejaculate into her, yeah, she's literally taking your life force. Every time a man ejaculates, he becomes a little bit more and more female as well. losing his life force, his life energy, the Christos seed.
I think it generates.
And that's how you end up
Wow.
with power bottoms.
So let me ask
Wow.
this. So
Wait,
never
wait,
mind.
wait. Let me ask this. Jana and I are the only women in the room at this point, okay? We are outnumbered. This is a
You're
Go to
whole
lucky
lot
we're
of
Croatia.
life
talk.
force
Go to Croatia.
vampires.
More women in Croatia than to men because of
You
the
know
war.
that's where I'm from, right? Zagreb.
My wife too.
Oh.
Kako si?
I'm not from the embassy, but
No, kako si? How are you?
good. I'm good. I'm
Wait,
very
Court,
good.
you said you're from Croatia?
Listen, I'm fourth generation in the States, but my family runs pretty deep in Chicago. Yeah. That's all I can say.
She's connected to Hillary
I mean,
and
fuck
Obama.
off. Shit. I'm not connected to anyone
It's
like
okay.
that, okay? I don't even
Listen.
know
We're all
them.
connected. We are. They are cousins. I
I
promise
bet
you.
they
And
are.
what has to happen is our family members who are in love with this fake 3D world and don't realize it's a simulation. That's why they give you Similac for the simulation. And they're in love with this fake money magic, and they got everybody hoarding the family's energy with this fake money magic, and that's why they have to play the game of life again. So that's all that's happening. Soft disclosure is the higher version of themselves, given that writer of the story of the
Yeah.
movie. That's soft disclosure.
I
So the
haven't
family
seen
members don't
that
kill
film.
themselves.
I haven't watched
Watch
TV in
Free
2
Guy.
months. That's an honest to
Watch
God
Free Guy.
answer.
Watch the movie. Watch the movie Free Guy.
Free God?
That's a good
Okay.
one. Yeah, Free Guy. It's explaining what's
Oh,
going
Free
on.
Guy. Okay.
Oh, a wonderful movie
Yeah,
I
Free
saw
Guy.
with Ryan Reynolds. A great movie. I had a blast. Like it shows all the ways that like Hollywood puts together the special effects and stuff, and kind of like the stunts and everything. Excellent movie. If you guys have the opportunity to stream it, please do.
Yeah, Free Guy. Free Guy explains. They tell us all the stories in the movies, soft disclosure, so the family members don't kill themselves. If you kill yourself, that's how we get the jinns. These are you're still here, but you did the ultimate sin is destroy the machine that repairs the waters. When you drink dead water, you're going to urinate H3O2. All living things are machines to repair the
I
waters.
believe you.
So when you did that, now you're stuck here till 2106, which is year 6000. From 3895, Adam and Eve would be year 1. Year 6000 would be 2106. So that's when they can go back and start over again, Armageddon. But these are the jinns right now. They'll jump into your body when you drink too much liquor because they want to touch and feel again. Or if you enter in these realms, like with the magic mushrooms, and you don't know who you are, they'll take over. And but if you know who you are, and X blocks the frequency, and your light's bright enough, just like the bugs won't come out when the lights are on. Susra is how we say bug in Chaldean, and Susiana was the name for Elam, the Elamites. So that's number 6. And then there's 8 is the spider. 44. Why did they pay 44 billion for this ad? And 33 boys, the 6 boys and the 8 boys. What happened to 7? 7 takes you to heaven. 2 triangles, 33, give you a 6-point star. 2 squares, 44, give you 8-point star. But you need the left wing and the right wing of Asher to come together, of the family. Ashira is the family. And then we're going to have a pair of dice instead of 1 dice, because Chazar means 1 dice. But if we have a pair of dice, it'll be all 12 tribes and we'll be in paradise.
Very nice. Very nice.
He's just
Very
dropping
nice.
some bombs
That
on
is
these people.
We
Wake
had
them up.
that is a very nice lingo.
Manjana. We're gonna go to Manjana. He was up next there.
I stopped watching TV a while ago, but then realised I was being a bit stupid because of that like soft disclosure where like they reveal things in films. And now that my mind is more awake, once a week I'll watch a film and then try and find the little hidden decoded messages in there, and then tell my friends about it and tell them to watch it. Like I didn't know about the Fall Guy one, so I'm gonna go back and watch that again. Now I know there's loads of hidden messaging in that. The last one I watched was Donnie Darko.
Oh, that's another great movie. That's
Yeah,
trippy as hell too.
brilliant film. Like time travel, soul transition, brilliant. Planes of existence.
I'm with you, Courtney. I haven't watched movies in so long. I'm like way behind when it
I
comes to this.
absolutely love the movie Donnie Darko. That's a great fucking movie. That movie has a little bit of everything in it, and the story behind it is just magnificent. That's a great movie.
The OA.
So Peter, what
The
about
OA
those
for the win.
people that can drink and keep the gins away? What do you call those people?
Those are the people that think that they can keep the gins away. So if you drink too much, just a little bit, it's over that day. You know, if you have to drink once a week, every Saturday, go try not to quit that drinking that Saturday. It's not you're addicted. You can't. You're alcoholic if you drink one day a week every day and every week on that same day. So, and it's the bugs inside of you that are sending text messages to your brain to tell you to do this.
A lot of people have
You stop
parasites.
it. Yeah, 98% of the body is 98. The body is this is Stephen Gundry, Dr. Stephen Gundry, Plant Paradox. He says the body is a condominium of 98% non-human parasites. There's good ones, there's bad ones. The bad ones, they thrive off of sugar. The good ones, they thrive off of fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut. So when you have the good bugs in there, it tells the bad bugs no vacancy. The sugar bugs are the food for the cancer. Candida, consor, and if you don't eat sugar for 15 days, you'll lose about 5 pounds after the 15 days because this is dead bugs that you starved them. It's not fat. You starved the bugs from their food source and they died. There's still some that will stay dormant. If you eat candy again, they'll come back. So I had quit alcohol. I was never a sugar eater, candy eater, or sweets. I never liked sweets. I had quit alcohol, and then all of a sudden I'm liking sweets, and I'm like, wow! I realized I didn't have an alcohol addiction. I have a sugar addiction. And then when I cut the sugar out, that's when I realized. But sugar is the most powerful one. Almost everybody
Shit.
has
I
sugar
just
That's why we
addiction.
had
bought
the
some
sugar wars.
candy.
Well,
That's why
that's
we had
what
the
I
sugar
found
wars.
when I started to drink less. I found out I was drinking a lot more like sweet drinks in particular, so sodas, like, and not just Diet Coke, so like sodas, apple juices. I like candy a lot more and whatnot. And then I noticed it was weird, so I looked it up. I'm like, oh, I guess that makes a lot of sense then.
Son of the sun, go
So
ahead.
Peter, do you believe that like overweight, obese people, that's parasites inside of them, not fat?
Yeah, it's bugs. There's big bugs. You
That's
gotta
my
starve
buddy's
them.
got so
Hold
many
on.
You
bugs
gotta starve
inside of
them and
him.
Hold
poop them out. And listen, this is a big problem too in America that I realized. I'm first generation American. I never seen Iraq. My parents from Iraq. I found out that the toilets in Iraq, there's no toilet. It's just a hole. They got to squat all the way
Oh my
down.
God.
So that means the seats are wrong
Yeah,
here.
there
When you're
is
sitting
it's
down,
actually better for
you're
you.
not able to get it out. That's why they came out with the squatty potty. So you better use your garbage can or invest $20 in a squatty
Yeah,
potty.
and Peter's
Wait.
pushing this because he's one of the investors in Squatty.
Some of us are so full of poop, our eyes are bad.
All right. Son of sun, go ahead.
So like green
Yeah,
is like
what he was
halfway there.
saying, I agree. I agree with that. I've come across some stuff I studied in the occult when it comes to demons and stuff like that. That they were referred to as parasites in the body. And the parasites in the body causes you to act outside of yourself because it's stuff you can't control necessarily what's going on in there. Also with demons or jinn and stuff like that, be careful with mirrors and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you guys know that already. Especially if you're doing sexual acts, so that mirrors are closed or a mirror can reflect you in any type of way. Just be careful of that.
Older mirrors, the older mirrors were made with mercury.
Facts.
That's not good at all. What the hell?
Mirror, mirror on the wall might work better if you got mercury in the mirror.
Might kill you.
Mercury
You have to know what you're doing.
begins to vaporize at room temperature. meaning that like the reason why mercury is dangerous is because it turns into a gas.
And
And
also,
then
There's
it
a
acts
big
as a
connection with
poison.
mercury and electricity or light beings, so we're electric, we're light.
also, try not to stare at the mirror too much. I know, ladies, you love to look at yourselves and make sure you're well put. Just try not to stare at the mirror for too long because there are jinn inside the mirrors and they range in different levels. You could look at them as like genies. There's red ones, there's green ones. I forgot the last color. That there is red, green, and another color. But just be careful with it because constantly staring at the mirror, there is something looking back at you.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Has anyone? Because
I have
I
never heard that one before.
really okay, Clark. Tonight,
Wow.
before you go to bed,
Interesting take.
but Clark,
All
before you go
right.
to bed. Hey, can you hear me,
LA,
Clark?
I'd like to get your opinion up here, man.
Yo.
Would you take the mic and
Clark, can you hear the water drip, man?
is there a problem if I do?
Oh no, I don't know
Post
if
is
you're
gonna
talking
have to
over
drop
him or
down
if
and
you
come
can't
back
hear
up.
Oh,
him.
Drip.
I don't know if he can't
Oh,
hear
I'm
you.
gonna have
Maybe.
to drop you. Hold on one second, Drip.
If I was as beautiful as some of these ladies, I'd stand right in front of the mirror all day long. Be honest with you.
He said water drop. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's Drip. All right, LA. Well, Drip was talking, so let Drip get back up here.
Follow the drip.
Drip and then LA.
I can put my mic on and splash around in the water for you.
Spin your water before you drink
Oh
it
my
too.
god. Oh my god.
72
Go
No,
ahead,
times,
Drip.
Clark.
Peter. Tell him.
Clark, I was gonna say before you go to because I have heard this, and when I did hear this about the mirror thing, I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna try this." And I turned the lights out, and I lit a candle, and like it freaked me out, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see anything creepy, but I didn't make it that long because I was like, "Holy shit, this is fucking creeping me out." And like, try it before you go to bed tonight, Clark. Try it.
Try what? What am I supposed to do?
You can. Okay. I haven't. I've experienced experimented with this a little bit. From what I learned in the occult, if you just stare at the mirror, you don't need to turn off the lights. Just stare at the mirror and just do not move. Just stare at the mirror. You'll start to notice. If you want to see your soul, stare at the mirror. You'll see how your soul looks. It doesn't look like what you think. You'll notice
Wait,
your face starts to
Just
change and transform.
just pay attention to the man in the mirror, okay?
So I'm
I'm
gonna turn
already ugly
ugly or
enough. Do
something?
I
Yo,
really
yo,
want to do
yo,
Yeah.
that?
yo.
I'm
I'm
gonna turn
out.
ugly.
You guys are absolute retards who want to die first in a horror
I'm
movie.
looking at the
What the hell,
man
guys? I don't
in the
want to
mirror.
die because you guys never watched a horror movie
I'm
before.
asking him to
My
change
buddy did
his
that in one of those
ways.
movies. I think he was the second one to die.
All right, LA, I'd like to get your take on how music can heal the soul, my brother.
Hey, what's up, Clark? What's up, everybody? Um, I I guess when I think about music healing the soul because it functions from a frequency, is that what y'all talking about?
Oh, you can, whatever it means to you, brother, go ahead and spit it.
Okay, music has a ability to be a tonality. It can
Is
actually
anyone speaking?
repair.
I can't hear them.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got you. I'm
Yeah,
Ramon,
we were
fixing it.
LA.
hearing you.
Yeah, I
Somebody
can hear.
said they couldn't hear me. Okay. Anyway, music is something that, from a notational point of view, you can actually focus in on the actual healing elements of notations. That's why you can have a F minor and a F major that does two different things, but they still have the same key. If you know what to do, if you know how to organize that key structure, or what they call a chord and things like that. But you know, music notation is mathematical, so it's right there in your face that you can actually create a recipe to do the things that you're talking about, to heal, to cause chaos. I mean, if you notice what y'all call drill music, the only reason why it has that name is because of the composition. It ain't the rappers, it's the music, which gives you that dronish, heavy, burden, grievance, dark, but it captures you too. You see what I'm saying? Because it has that minor feeling to it, which is a melancholy type of tone. So you're caught into the presence of it. It's not to even say that it's bad or good. It's just saying what's the message on top of it. That's what becomes the programming. You know, when we use that type of production against people. But I did want to say this about the vanity thing. Well, y'all didn't say vanity. Y'all kept talking about mirrors. Mirrors are called vanities. The reason why they call it that because it falls into the 7 deadly sins. If you think about when they used to say a mirror can capture your soul, it's not so much that you see your soul, it captures you. What that means is when people look at themselves too much, they start to try to correct what they perceive as a flaw. And I learned that lesson just from construction. That's because I asked one day, why do y'all call it a vanity? And I install them all the time. I'm like, I never even thought about asking what the fuck a vanity, what's the vanity part about? And when they started telling us the history about vanities, then I understood. I was like, okay, this is where like selfies, I think I heard somebody mention that. Selfies tend to steal something from women and men when they do that so much. It's not so much that the camera steals their soul. It's saying that when they look, every time they look at these selfies, they're trying to do a bunch of them to correct what they see in the picture as a flaw or imperfection. So even if he or she made one pose and they felt like, oh, let me do it again, and I'm gonna do it this way, they keep trying to perfect that flaw. So that's what a lot of what I think I heard from people. Mercury is not it's not dangerous no more than lead is. Mercury is actually a shape shifting material. So what can happen with mercury, because it has a low threshold or low what they call a flash point, the heat off your body can actually make mercury reshape itself into the form of who you are. So that's why you're able to use thermostats to get a fever. When you got a fever or something, that's why you're using mercury thermostats. It's able to register the low temperature, because 100 degrees in reality is not that hot in so much so, but at the level that we need to sense things in us, that's why mercury became the easiest and most suitable.
Hey, brother, LA, don't they use mercury in the, back in the day when they make those neon lights before the LEDs came out to get certain colors? They would have to mix mercury with that.
I don't know if that's true, but I'll check into it for you. I've heard it, so I'll just leave it at that. You
Mercury is
might
one
be
of the most
right.
efficient compressors. One of the most efficient compressors in demand is mercury.
Well, I'll tell you this.
And if you put mercury, oh, go ahead,
Well,
brother.
I'll share this with you, Peter, because you dropped a lot of good knowledge yourself. Lead paint is not dangerous. The reason why they got rid of lead, because 5G was a technology they already had access to. What they discovered within concentrated environments, they couldn't pass the radio frequencies through obstructions. And one of the most repellent or resistant materials for microwaves, which that's what 5G functions under, is lead.
As lead blocks frequencies, guys, you can buy specific lead paint right now
Faraday
to paint
cage.
your wall to block frequencies, and then you paint your color on top of it, any color you want.
Here's if y'all think I'm lying, go talk to an old school plumber and they'll tell you. Well, we work with lead all the way up until they regulated it out of the industry. So none of them have these. What do they call that disease? Where people they tried to tell us that shit. They only had one example in Chicago, which was bullshit during the.
Lead poisoning.
What is it called?
Lead poisoning.
No, it had another name. It was creating something else. They tried to say, well, okay, I'm gonna give y'all one better. I work in the stone and tile industry daily. This is what I do. I could turn the camera on every day and show y'all what I do to make a living. Okay. they started putting out the lie that granite stone could produce what was it called? Radon. This is a natural stone, guys, that's been around for at least far as we know, people have been using marble and granite for over 30,000 years, and ain't nobody ever wrote any literature talking about radon poisoning coming out of granite. I deal with the shit every day, and I mean, I've at least had 6 physicals where my blood, I mean, everything, from blood work and everything, nobody's ever come to me and said, hey, man, you got some high levels of radon in your body.
Brother LA, tell us about the blue granite and how rare it is and where it comes from.
Very rare. I don't know where it comes from. That's a good point, because granite itself doesn't even look like what y'all see.
It's from Brazil.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I sold granite for a minute when I was 18 when I moved to Denver for a
Okay,
granite
so then
import company.
did you work? I'm in Colorado Springs. Who did you work for as a company? Because you got 5 acres, Planet
Yeah, I
Granite.
worked off of 6th Avenue, Granite
Okay,
Imports
I
Incorporated.
know exactly where you were over there by downtown and shit. Yeah, okay, by
Yep.
Broadway and
There's
shit
a
like that.
It's a small world, y'all.
there's a really famous, really famous scientist named
But she,
Dr. Carl E. Baugh, and he talks about how granite actually.
You breaking up? Can y'all hear Ramon?
Yeah,
we hear him.
We hear him drop.
Okay,
Granite
I'm gonna come back up, Clark.
granite records and then can play back like
Exactly.
an audio, like a record. Yeah.
But no. We can record.
It has a radioactive half-life. Yeah.
Well, we can record actual signals. So even your human frequency can be recorded into granite, and
Yep.
they can play it back. That's what you have with a CD player.
Because the crystals.
Yes.
But it also recorded information
So
like from years and years and years ago, generations ago. It's really interesting. Yeah.
No. If you ever go to Colorado's real famous for a lot of quarry mines here. You can learn a lot about stone and what it can do. What Presner is talking about is that they've actually been able to decipher codes that have been recorded into stone, because stone is one of the greatest storage devices for sound waves.
what does this have to do with Medusa? When they said they had cut the Medusa's head, and when they show her the head, and they turned the other creature into a stone.
She was a Gorgon.
Oh shit.
Wait, can
Yeah,
y'all bring
she was a monster.
bring that back? Bring that back for me one more time.
Medusa, Jesus, I have a lyric that says, I never should have laid in your bed. You're a Medusa with 6 heads.
Hey.
Yeah, I do. That's a lyric of mine. That's
But
funny. Go ahead.
so Gorgon, who the hell is Gorgon? This is a new character for me. Like, who is Gorgon?
What does that have to do with Gargamel too?
Well, the term Gorgon was given to a group of demigods, right, that were sort of monsters on Earth. And she
I'll
was
tell you
one
guys.
of
Listen to
one of
this.
the
So
Gorgon sisters.
listen, Gur means men. Gur. If I say
Remember
Gurd
the
man,
Smurfs?
that means men of number 8.
Remember the Smurfs, Gargamel?
Yes. And then what we say, the other word we said, Gur what? You said something else. What was the
Drip,
other
what was
sound?
the other
What's
word?
the name?
Gorgon.
President.
Gorgon.
Huh? Oh, Gan. Okay, so Gan is the Nej. Nejam is how you say star. So these are like the star man. So that's what they mean by that. Star people. The Gurded Gurda. You say the men of man, you say. So which are the star people. There's 3 mothers. In the 22 characters, they're described as 3 mothers, 7 doubles, which can be male, female, which is something that we can't comprehend what it is. And then there's 12 singles, could represent the 12 tribes.
Well, remember what defeated Medusa, right, is a mirror. The mirror defeated Medusa because, staring into her own reflection, she turned herself into stone.
There was one guy that cut her head, and then he showed her head to something else, and it turned into a rock. I forgot where I saw that, which movie it was. One of these Greek things from the Greek
Wasn't it
stories.
Perseus? Sorry, Clash of the Titans.
Peter,
Clash of the
was,
Titans.
Yeah,
was
Yeah.
that's what it
Peter,
was.
was it you talking about paradise earlier?
Yes,
Paradise doesn't
yes,
mean one. That means two. It's
exactly.
actually universe that means one. And that's when people talk about the universe, they tend to overlook what the definition of the word combined means. It means one verse or lyric or song or voice.
The same wonderful song
Very
and voice
interesting.
that has us here within the third dimension. That wonderful song that has us still sleeping.
Life is a song, and have to know when to jump in and jump out, and you have to be in the right tempo and the right scale
And you've been
to
put
fit
under a
in.
frequency though that lullabies you into a like a what do they call it, like when you're not coherent so much so.
Trance
No, it's
Drifter,
no,
you're drifting.
or hypnotized.
no.
Hypnotic sleep.
I mean, those are all good words, but that's not inoculated. You're inoculated. You know, it's like a drug on you. You can
Is it
even
like
know that you're under a spell. I mean, you can even feel that. It's like being, you know, when how alcohol
Hypnotized.
makes you feel that heaviness, but you still there's a sense of you that know you're still there, but there's a part of you that just lets everything go.
tipsy?
That's the
It's
gin.
called
That's the gin
tipsy.
inside of you, and then the light inside of you fighting with the gin that took over your avatar because it wants to touch and feel. That's why they call it gin and spirits.
Okay. I mean, I don't know it from your perspective, but I'm saying, and see, that's one thing I try not to do. I've learned a long time ago. All parts of the world have a way that they express the same exact thing. You know, regardless of the names, I don't really care about all that. I'm just speaking to the fundamentals of what it is. You know, it's a harmonic or inharmonic process. You know, energy is not about you trying to say that God delivered you a message. That ain't how it works. You know, and so many people have tried to associate, you know, like even when, you know, we hear a lot of people talk about the zodiacs and stuff like that. It's like that has nothing to do with the concept of energy.
Magnetism.
Magnetism
North
is
Pole,
how we're
most.
actually held in place on the ground. That's funny you said that, Peter.
Yeah, your heart is the most magnetic. That's the Garden of Eden. And that's when you open your heart, that's when you really restructure in the
Well,
waters.
here's what I
When you
found
release
out.
the hate from the other family members, there are other versions of us living different life experiences, and it's our duty to help and not be upset at everybody.
Here's some information I came across. The most magnetic part of people is actually the frontal cortex of the brain. It's where a bunch of billions of particles of magnetic material is housed within your body. And they're all like, if you could think of them like horseshoes, like north and south, like magnets.
Yeah, so that could be the north and south, the heart and up top, like that's what you're
Right.
talking
As
about, right?
above, so below.
That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
As above, so below type of stuff that you hear from people. Um, you know, it's just what you said, Peter.
And it could be it could be your DNA Tesla antenna coil receiver transmitter to the waters, and that could be the other side of the magnet,
Well,
is your heart.
but you know, magnetism is a form of telecommunication. It sends out frequencies.
Telecommunication, the way it works in a jingle. That's why when you sing that song and then the person in front of you starts singing it, you only sing it in your
Well,
head,
remember the
and
song.
the water is the
Remember this
conductor.
one. My hot dog has a first name. It's Oscar. My husband has a last name. It's Mayer. You remember that, Peter?
I remember that
That's what
Hey,
I'm
shit,
talking
man.
about.
I've
Yeah.
been
I have
listen to this,
never
LA.
heard of that.
LA, I've been drinking milk, and milk's giving me a lot of what I need for strong bones, great skin, and a beautiful smile.
Is that like an American children's song? 'Cause I've never heard that one before.
No, it's actually the
No,
promotion of a
these
hot
are
dog company.
commercials. These are programming with the commercials.
MICKEYMOUSE, Mickey
Well,
Mouse.
that's Mickey Mouse. But then you had Oscar Mayer. My hot dog has a first name. It's Oscar. My hot dog has a last name. It's Meyer. and then they would pour a little mustard and shit on it. You know what I'm saying? It would get the kids
That's
I
a throw.
want a
That's a throwback and a
hippopotamus for
half.
Christmas. Now only a
Okay, now
hippopotamus
Court
will
having a good time,
do.
so I know she
Imagine how
remember
weird
that
it'd be
song.
naming your wiener.
That's the song, man. The Oscar Mayer song, you couldn't beat it, bro. I'm telling you. That's why when Peter said what he said, I was like, fuck, that brings me to the Oscar. No song is more famous than the Oscar Mayer song.
Happy birthday to you. Oh, it's
Okay, I'll
definitely
give you that one. I'll
definitely
give
more
you that one,
popular.
motherfucker. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. But outside of Happy Birthday, Oscar Mayer is probably the most popular song in America, is what I'm talking about. That identifies not only the jingle, like Peter said, but now
Let's go to the racist jingles. LA, let's talk about the ice cream jingle.
which one?
Tell them what that's
Because you
all
know we
about.
got three of
The
them.
ice cream man jingle. The one that the racist one.
Is that the one
Fresh
that doom
goes
da doom da
better,
doom da doom da doom?
Mentos Fresh Mints, fresh.
Or is that the one that goes doom da doom da doom da doom doom da doom da doom?
Yeah,
Yeah, that I've
exactly.
heard about that. Yeah, doom da doom da doom da
Yeah, that
doom
these
doom
are
da
all.
doom da doom doom.
If you see how racist this country used to be, it's not just this country. It's all the way back in history. The biggest uh, slave revolt was in Iraq, in Basra, Iraq, in 800, 900 AD. They don't talk about this. So they don't talk about all. You talk about all this ancient history. Why aren't you talking about the black and white fight from back in the ancient history? Because it's still going on today. Maybe that's the motherfucking problem. Because people are judging you by your avatar. It's fucked up. So 800, 900 AD, 1.5 million revolted slaves, black, and they made all the white ones go up north in Basra, Iraq. That happened. So if you
Is
see
that what
the
happened
stuff,
here too?
I can show you the stuff. I don't even want to post them. The stuff that I find that I have, what kind of how racist uh, stuff they would put out, like Republican, Democrat, and they put like a black face with one and the white face with other. It was really fucked up shit. And then the songs they would do, and they act like it wasn't happening. And then you think they were nice to free the black people? No, they weren't nice. They said, like, we're gonna turn all these motherfuckers into slaves, and they do it how? With this fake interest, this fake money magic. And that's what's going on. And they're playing us with these words or sounds.
All right, so like I can't be inauthentic. Like I honestly I can't be. So I actually took some MDMA, and I'm feeling really like open and honest right now. So I would love for people to like ask me questions.
Hey, Prez, hold on. I got a question for you. I had actually studied in DMA. Let me ask you a question. First and foremost, do you use it to work out?
No, I use it medicinally, basically only, like exclusively. I don't use it to party and have a good time.
Okay, so
Oh man, you got to try that.
you're using it for therapeutic remedies. Is that's what I
Oh
heard?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait till I tell you about the nitrous that I do that for. I do that with nitrous. Cold activates the quantum.
But does
I
it
can't tell you guys
actually
too
give
much.
you an accelerated energy boost, or is that?
My man, I left out of my body and I'm looking at my avatar holding the motherfucking balloon. What you talking about?
Hey Peter. Hey Peter. Just a tip, bro. Okay, get yourself a hose, bro. All right.
One time, one of my friends, when the tank starts freezing up, he put his hand on the fucking ice, got stuck. He ripped his whole fucking skin. He had to go to the hospital.
Oh my
Dumbass.
I used
God.
to do that with popsicles all the time, Peter. Fuck, it's not new.
Yeah, try. Yeah, put your hand on fucking. Imagine the whole thing and it's all ice, and you put your whole hand on
No,
it.
it's
You're
it's
stuck.
it's true what he
Imagine your
says though.
fucking
Like
tongue ripping your
that
fucking
guy.
tongue off every goddamn
What's
time.
that guy's name? Wim Hof, right? Wim Hof does like the special breathing method or whatever. If you haven't checked that out, you definitely need to do that. He talks about the cold. He talks about how God is in the cold.
The biggest computer right now, it's the size of a two-car garage, and the reason it's that big, it's about $15 million. The reason it's
But
that big
Peter,
is
you
the coldest
remember?
technology known to man.
But Peter,
That's why it's that
Yeah,
big.
yeah. Look,
but Peter,
computers
do you
computers
remember?
require cryogenic cooling, right? So if you think about it, like the computers perform better when they're cold. Like for real
But
talk, man.
remember though, Prez, Gordy Rhodes still didn't confirm that they had that completed. It was an option. They understood that they could use quantum computing
Well,
But
that's why the wealthy for generations have been really interested in suspended animation and cryogenics. Like the very wealthy,
but
powerful have
think
been
about what
interested in it in a
suspended
very long time.
animation is. Think about
I know, man. I know.
Tell them what they want to hear. We just want to tell them what they want to hear.
The truth, Peter.
no,
The
people
truth.
don't want to hear the truth.
I'm talking. Well, that's
Clark,
not.
you
Yeah,
better
that
tell
is
the
true.
truth.
People don't want to
I'm
hear
talking
the
about
It
truth.
is true.
put yourself in the establishment's feet, and then pretend you're talking to another establishment member.
People
Nah,
don't want
That's
look,
to
what I
hear the
mean when
truth,
you say
look,
that.
look, man. Here's
Well,
what's
we
going on.
do tell
Okay,
the truth in here.
we
It's
gotta
not about
go
your
back to
face. The
Genesis.
people
We go
don't
back to
want to hear the
Genesis.
truth.
Okay, we go back to Genesis, and what's the first thing that? So like we have these two supreme beings, right? They have like this infinite knowledge. They know God exists, right? They know that they're creation. They know that there's a creator, right? They have a spiritual connection with him, right? They know they can't hide from God. They know that. So then they eat this fruit. They basically gain this extra knowledge that they didn't have. And what's the first thing they do with it? They try to run and hide from the thing that they know it's not possible to run and hide from. So like that's human nature, man. It's like what we're witnessing is just human nature. So that's why I know like day 3, Wednesday of 5, that's when 70% of the population will all be in attendance. Like it's going to be like that scene out of the second Matrix movie where everybody's going to be partying together.
I got a different theory, Prez, and I think we saw an example of it and we kind of brushed it off. Remember the movie Kingsman, the first one with Samuel
I
Jackson?
don't ruin it for me because I haven't seen it and I'd like to watch it.
Okay, I'm not gonna
But
ruin it.
like yeah, but like to give you an example, right? So that because like I'm not saying this for no reason. Like I've been shown this. You know what I mean? This has been shown. This is not something that's like
Yeah, but I'm trying to tell
you're
you,
getting the
even in the
real me.
science.
You're getting you're getting the most authentic me. Like
But
I
let
have
me
no
share.
reason to lie.
Let me share some with you. Outside of this, I don't try to go against people what they experience personally. What I try to tell people is you're not exclusive. That's what I'm trying to say. Even people that have bad intentions with the type of information that you're talking about have access to it, like it or not. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to deal with that. What I'm saying
Well,
is,
we can't save everybody. I accept that as a reality. Like it's not.
what's
You know what
not
I
see
mean?
that's
I
yeah,
understand.
hear me out. Even when you say saving people, it takes a pretty arrogant attitude to think you should save anybody beyond yourself. I don't attack people like that. I'm just saying you have to recognize what you have control over, which is nothing more than yourself. So
Oh, sure. Like, trust me, I've been aware for a while. Like the night my daughter was born, I was standing out on the balcony, in Japan, and like where I lived, Gate 2 Street, yeah, Kadena, if you know the area, in Okinawa, Japan, it's an entertainment district. But what's really interesting is like the way the Japanese have their cities built, especially Okinawa, because it's so different from everywhere else in Japan. There was like 9 hospitals within 1 square mile of this location where my apartment was. So like within 5 minutes of each other, you can literally hear one ambulance after the next because Okinawa has the highest, octogenarian population on Earth, people over 80. So people are constantly being shuttled to and from hospitals, like all the time at this particular location. It's just all the time. You can hear it. And so I was thinking about, the future. I was like, because my daughter had just been born. And I was like, okay, so like we set aside money for her, and it was like, okay, like she'll grow up and like she'll be able to pay for her college with cash, or she'll be able to like put a down payment on a house, or she'll be able to get a car. And I started to realize like, that wasn't enough. Like she was going to need people around her that weren't just around her because she has like a trust fund and has money in it. You know what I mean? Like I had to do more than just for myself. This legacy was about the other children that she would interact with.
well, let me share this. The saddest thing I seen happen that I was able to identify with before, because you sound like you might be a little younger than me, and I'm not saying that to take away any of your knowledge.
I turned 40 this year.
Okay, I'm 50. Even in 10 years, you would have seen some entirely different shit. Okay, they keep changing, they keep moving the goal, man. I'm telling you.
I'm hip, brother. I'm
Yeah,
hip.
it's just
Hey,
Yeah.
yo. Can a girl talk for just a second? Just for a second.
Of course, Courtney. Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna reset the
Go
Hold
ahead,
on.
Courtney.
space.
Yeah, so I just need to say one thing before you start. Just remember
Okay,
my
Press.
heart is open right now because of what's going on. So like just be considerate of my feelings. Thank you.
Manifest it, Prez. I'm with you, sis. Bro, man, woman. Listen, I got it all covered, okay? Checked and verified. Thank you, Prez and Peter and Clark and L.A. Ramon. Bless you guys.
Seriously. But I am going to reset the space. It's 9:58. This is X Society Truth Tellers. Music can heal the soul. And that's the truth. If you want a mic, come on up. We'd love to hear from you. Back to you, Clark.
Thank you, Courtney. So we are getting towards the end, so we can keep going for a little bit longer, but we will be wrapping it up shortly. So anyone who wants to speak,
I
the
would like to
time's
speak
now.
for just a moment.
Oh, go ahead, Courtney. Go ahead.
Well, listen, we've had Peter talking about numbers. We've had L.A. Ramon talking about Colorado. We've had Clark laughing. We've had Misha discussing McDonald's and things at night. Jana, we haven't heard from you.
Wait, did I mention
Torin,
anything about McDonald's?
listen, I don't know if I've heard from you.
Wait, I'm just really
420
trying to
After,
hallucinate.
Turtle Tribune, and Batman. Listen, welcome everyone. This is where we kick it with X Society at night. You can say whatever you
Look,
want.
tell me any other presidential candidate right now, okay, that's on that list, that's on the FEC.gov website, okay, that you can literally talk to, that's going to take MDMA and like open up to you and you can ask them anything. Like, show me
Game
one.
on, Prez.
Well, I mean, I
Are
was
you
very
genuinely a
interesting.
presidential candidate,
That's
Mr.
why
Prez?
you're my president.
Let's go, Prez. You got,
Courtney, will you be voting? Courtney, are you voting for
yeah,
president?
he has my
Do
endorsement.
you? Fuck yeah, we got another one. Let's go. Let's
Peter,
go.
you ready? L.A. Ramon? I mean, Jana? Like, at least we have a, third party. At least we can relate to him. I don't know.
But he won't be reliable. You know why?
Why?
Because he just showed us.
He's gonna be high on MDA.
Exactly. He just showed us he's easy to be altered and manipulated.
Oh
And
my
on top
gosh.
of that,
Prez has lived 150 years
well,
in
hold on,
his
Court.
almost
Hold
40.
on, Court. Going to war,
What?
we never incorporate women on the battlefield. So therefore, I'm not going to hear what you got to say. I'm going to hear what I got to say. If
Ooh.
Prez
Hey,
wanted
so
to come
listen,
to
Snap.
the battlefield like that, I would say go home, sober up, then come back. Okay, if you're serious, because
no, but I am absolutely
well, no,
serious, and that's why I'm
hold
able
on,
to be
Prez, because you
vulnerable
do me
like
like this
this. I'm
sometimes.
willing to be in a vulnerable state for
But
all of you.
vulnerable for a man is not a good idea.
Well, not if I'm in the field. No, like I'm gonna be completely sober while I'm in the field, while I'm actually working. But you guys have, in my opinion, right? This is coming from the heart. You guys should have access to all of me. There, I'm willing to make myself like in a state where you can tell if I'm really lying to you or not. Like I don't want to hide anything from you.
It's really hard for
The
truth
easiest
tellers.
manipulated man in battle, in war, is a man who thinks with his feelings. It's no disrespect. I'm trying to get us back to a conversation where men control it and we know what we need.
Oh
Well,
my.
and Jesus partied at a wedding, man. It's okay to party if you're in the right
But he
conditions
also
and
spoke of
environment,
it as
right?
one of the greatest downfalls of his life. A lot of people have spoken of the Mary Magdalene story in a different way than we get told.
Well, this is a lot different than getting drunk. And again, I'm not partying, guys. Like this is therapeutic. I'm trying to get closer to each one of you. I'm salt of the earth.
I will say it was used by therapists as a therapeutic thing so that people could open up about things. So it has been used
So when you're ready to
for
debrief,
beneficial reasons.
that's what you're saying. That
Real
means you're
quick,
not on the
everyone.
battlefield no more.
L. Maginer, go ahead.
This is the debrief, guys.
Hold
I
on,
just want to
Prez.
ask you
L.
all.
Maginer, go ahead.
I just want to ask you all. Did you know what happens to helium when they supercool it? Like helium when they supercool it and turn it into a liquid. The close.
Super fluid. Yeah, it's one of the only known examples in nature where it turns into a
Yeah, and
superfluid. It's actually
you can't contain
it's
it.
one of the
You
principles.
can't contain it.
Yeah,
Like
correct. It's one of the principles under which the fusion reactor that I've designed operates. It's what makes it actually work.
and it becomes super slippy as well. So
You just made him let out a secret he would never let out normally.
You may
so
have. Oh,
That's
I
not
almost
true,
just said
Clark.
it.
It just means you don't know how to ask the questions the right way.
and did you know that oxygen when that
People have a
gets
right to know.
below minus so many degrees, it turns solid and blue?
Gold is also completely translucent like glass in its purest form without any kind of dopants or oxygen.
Whoa, I didn't know that. Thanks for the knowledge.
Yeah, that's what creates the vapor canopy atmosphere, the glass ceiling. It's
Gold,
that's
crystalline gold,
the microscopic
hyperpolycrystalline gold is,
nanoparticles of
it's like one of the best
when
mirrors.
when the volcanoes erupt, they'll go in the sky. When they stay in the sky, the dust of the gold, and it creates the glass ceiling and will enter the vapor canopy atmosphere where you have lots of oxygen and massive growth.
Well, here's one
And then
for
the sky
you,
will fall again.
Peter, and all you ladies. I need you to listen to this. Diamonds have absolutely no value, intrinsic or not, none. So you work yourself to death to go pay for a raw piece of bullshit that has no value. And if you think I'm lying,
There's actually
hold on,
mountains.
please.
There's
Hold on.
mountains.
No, I'm telling you, I work in the stone industry. This is what I do every day. Diamonds have no
Trust, I'm aware.
Why don't diamonds have any value?
It's first of all ain't a natural stone. It's brought together through heat and compression.
But what it means, what he means, it doesn't have the value that they're making it out to have
Exactly.
the
It's
value.
all hype.
That's what he's saying.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm about to give y'all homework.
It's used to cut granite. It's valuable to
Exactly.
cut
It's
granite,
good
to
for
cut
cutting
stuff. This is
stone.
what he's talking about.
It's good
He
for
knows what
cutting
he's talking
stone.
about.
That's what you
Carbon
as
666.
type when we set tile. I mean, to cut the tile that we get asked to set, we have to use diamond studded blades. That's the only thing that cuts through ceramic, porcelain, and granite. That's what I know about this industry.
We are carbon based.
Okay.
All life is carbon
But
based.
here's what I'm trying to tell you. You don't need to test me if you got a diamond ring that you then divorced your husband for because you felt like he didn't get you the carat or 2 carats and you felt it was justified that he didn't go get that much more for you. I want you to take that raggedy ass diamond ring down to your nearest pawn shop or even to the jewelers or to the coin people and let them tell you what I just told you, okay? Because you know what they're going to tell you? We don't
Hey
give a fuck.
guys. Hey, Ella and Ramon, I just want to say goodnight. It's been fun. I know you guys are having a man club. It's fine. Enjoy.
No, women are
Much
welcome
love.
here.
Love you guys.
Everyone's
Much
welcome.
love.
Diamonds are a girl's best
Courtney,
friend,
every
Courtney.
every woman's
Love you.
welcome here.
I know, but you guys are cutting it up like Broham style, like broskies.
So
I
Yes,
don't
why,
know, man.
hold on, guys. This is where y'all get a chance to ask a woman like this, since she's behaving like this. Why wouldn't you stay and listen to men's experience?
Because I have things to do. It's
Well,
10
hold on,
o'clock at night.
hold on.
The northern lights are going to shine at 4 a.m., okay? The skies have cleared. I have shit to do. That's what I'm doing. I have to set my alarm in 6 hours to see the northern lights near Canada. It's a thing. I haven't
I
done it
got
since
you,
I was
It's also the
Courtney.
Perseids.
17.
It's even a
I
thing
got
in
you.
British Columbia.
We're
No,
also
it never was.
we're also at the tail end of the Perseids. So peak meteor shower view.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I have things to do, okay, guys? I love y'all. Have a great
Love
night.
you too, Courtney. Have a good night.
Cut it up. Cut it up. Toodles.
So they discovered, this is brand new, and I can drop the article if you want. They have that probe that they sent to study the sun, and it's also equipped to study Mercury. And they discovered that Mercury is almost exclusively made of diamond underneath of its crust.
We can't even get a contraption to get past
Wow.
hold on. Let me share this. I'm asking you guys, be careful what you consume. They said years ago, the Van Allen belts that they call it, Ray Van Allen. This is NASA's bullshit, not mine. The Van Allen belts, far as they know, there ain't no possible instrument or metal that they have that could even pass through those belts of radiation without being destroyed immediately on contact. They have not changed that particular narrative yet. Only thing keeps changing is that they said they sent a probe somewhere to here or there and this and that, woo, but they won't explain. Well, why did your own scientists say there ain't no possible way any metal contraption would have left the Earth's atmosphere or stratosphere without being torn to shreds?
Space
So
is
actually,
fake.
the
Indeed.
high altitude nuclear explosions that the United States government perpetuated prior to and after World War II. They say that they created an artificial Van Allen field, which is still being used as a signal, like a receiver. You know what I mean? They use that to like analyze weather patterns and stuff like that on Earth. It's actually not an artificial Van Allen field. If the Van Allen field was there, it's almost like they sprayed a dopant. That's what the high altitude nuclear explosion did into that region, so that they can better study it and see it, and have a system by which to detect it.
Very interesting.
They never
All
went
right.
to the moon. They never went to the moon. Space is fake and gay.
The artificial so-called Van Allen field, when they did that high altitude nuclear detonation tests, which, by the way, some scientists in the world said would actually shatter the Earth and crack it in two, which technically is possible. But that situation in the 40s and 50s, for a time, you could actually see the northern lights over Hawaii and parts of the world, where it normally isn't naturally visible because of those high altitude nuclear detonations.
Hey, look, Prez, here's the type of shit I say to stupid ass scientists that say shit like that. Cracking the Earth into two. How do you even know it's even in a form that you can crack into two? See, this is what I'm trying to say.
Well, for the same reason that an opera singer could reach resonance and you could crack a glass. I mean, Tesla even talked about this. He did a number
But
of different
Tesla
tests on resonance.
is a cult hero to me. I'm just being honest. I don't want to hurt anybody's feeling for what I think about him. He's like Diamonds to me. Okay, he's hyped up.
Well, he was the son of a minister, and he
But
was
he
a
got all his money from. But he got
strongly
all his money
professed
from
Christian.
American subsidies. That's already been proven. So.
No, I'm talking about the man, Nikola
Oh, I
Tesla,
thought you was
like the
talking
actual
about
person.
Elon Musk. I'm sorry, Nikola Tesla. What did
No.
you say about Nikola Tesla?
Yeah, his father was a minister. He was an Orthodox minister. He was an
But
incredible human
Tesla
being.
gets credit for things that were already here before him that he just simply like.
Yeah, no, Tesla. So he wrote an autobiography, and in his autobiography,
Well,
he
I'm saying
talks
there's
about
a
this.
man named Granville T. Woods that have more patents on the very things that Tesla was given credit for, literally.
Oh, sure. I mean, and
American that won't pay attention. They told you that if we get rid of the simple incandescent lamp, which is nothing more than a vacuum bulb and a filament and a piece of aluminum, three things that can be replaced. Like, remember the cars of the old days? You could pretty much break down any car in the 70s and the 60s and the 50s. You could break that. You could.
well, I have the answer. I have the answer for you, right? And the answer is in the form of a question. What would happen if you created a company that produced light bulbs that never broke?
They would go out of business.
So that's the whole reason why Daimler-Benz, way back when he built the automobile, like, because the electric cars and steam-powered cars already existed. So, like, he created the internal combustion engine automobile specifically for planned obsolescence, and he set the social
Well, I'm only
tone.
speaking. I'm only
Tesla,
speaking from the
yeah,
fact I worked there.
so Tesla as a person worked with Mr. Eiffel, and they were actually working on a system to free everybody. So, like, all of Tesla's friends, his backers, and so
Well,
on, most of those people. This is true. This is real history. I'm giving you some truth here, okay?
Remember, I'm in
So,
the city. Tesla supposedly did all these great scientific.
Yonkers. He was in the neighborhood of Yonkers, where
Okay,
Yonkers is now.
Tesla's history, as far as Colorado Springs is concerned, they tried.
Oh yeah, Colorado Springs,
Well,
yeah, for sure.
tell
Well,
them
because
what he did. Then, if you go say it.
yeah, well, okay. So because he already knew this was going to happen, he just didn't understand like how great a degree it was going to backfire. He knew that he was going to have to go down to the town and fix it. He just didn't understand like just how powerful the Earth's electromagnetic field
No,
actually
here's what
was.
Tesla is famous
So
for in Colorado Springs. Let me just help.
yeah, I'm telling you a story. I'm telling you a true story. So he had this laboratory at a higher altitude, obviously, than the original town of Colorado Springs. And the reason why they let him do his experiments was because he made an agreement with the entire town. Like the people knew who he was. And the agreement was that he was going to give them electricity, and in exchange, he needed the electricity from time to time, so their lights would dim, and they would have some problems, on the grid because it was new. It was brand new. AC grid was literally pretty much born in Colorado Springs for the most part. And his atmospheric experiments yielded the reason why we still use 60 hertz in our wall today, right? And a lot of people don't know the secret behind the 60 hertz and why the worldwide party is going to happen is because we're all so close to that 60 hertz, and our joy, right, and our satisfaction and so on gets transmitted. It's addictive. So that's why places like hotels and motels can carry a lot of sickness and disease. Is because people that go there, especially the cheap ones, they can pass that system, through that energy field, through the 60 hertz system that Tesla discovered in Colorado Springs. Anyway, so he was doing these experiments with the magnifying transmitter, and one of his very best friends, Mark Twain, actually came and visited him in Colorado Springs, and famously, when he did his remote wireless electricity experiments, where he took an incandescent bulb and literally plugged it into the ground and it glowed, miles away from his transmission station, and he could see corona. You can hear his testimony; he wrote about it, and you could see the corona around flowers and butterflies in the area. They seem to have streamers of electricity coming off of them. Very, very interesting stuff. And then, it backfed at some point. The magnifying transmitter backfed. There was probably a weakness in the system, or there was an arcing connector on one of the big capacitors that he had, and it eventually ate away, and it created enough of an arc that it, shot an EMP, and it destroyed the dynamos that were in Colorado Springs and shut down the power for for everybody. And so, they were so upset. Tesla had to go, and he basically worked around the clock to repair it, to get the electricity back going again. That's a true story.
You can go ahead, Pete.
Very
Go
He
interesting.
ahead.
fed so much power. He fed so much power into the earth, into the actual earth, that it basically created like a feedback system, and it had so much power behind it that it ate through these copper bands, thick copper bands that he was using between these giant capacitors that he had. It's like a welder. It just ate away at that, wherever the weak spot was, it found it. And he reached saturation. He reached a point where he talks about like filling a balloon. He reached a point where the balloon was so full that it was about to pop somewhere, and his device was the weak spot, and that's where it popped.
Wow.
Yeah, the MDMA, we definitely.
We got to wrap this up very soon, though. So, last comments.
Yeah.
And
That's real. That's real.
LA, do you have anything you need to talk to me about today? Did you finish up? Can we talk after this?
I'll talk to you tomorrow when I get back from the mountain.
Okay.
I'll be able to talk to you and give you something to listen to.
Okay, great. Awesome. All right. So, last call for comments and questions, everybody. Speakers first.
I just
We got
I just wanted to say
yeah.
about the AI. So these companies, like these Fortune 500 companies, what they do with the AI, like the manufacturers, they use what the hell I just run over? They use the AI to predict when the
It might have been a
build them
body, man.
specifically. I hope not. So they use it to predict when the parts are gonna fill. Imagine like Mercedes. So they have all these dealerships.
They
They have
already
all the
know. Yeah,
dates. Yeah,
they've been doing it for
and so
years.
they're just
They've
getting
been doing
more
this
and
for
more data,
years.
the more accurate predictions, the more it's called structured data, organized information, and then that's
All
what's
right, check it
happening.
out. This is real talk. This is real talk. So I'm like a mechanic too, and I'm a cyberneticist, so I take all this in as data. What I noticed is like the 1994-ish through I would say 2003 is like the cutoff. Those vehicles have the problems are so minuscule. It's before it's post 1960s advancements in
It's
computers,
1983.
but it's like pre.
1983, President.
Yeah, it's
Anything
pre.
after 1983 is not going to work after 2040 when the solar flare hits. Electronic. But pre
Yeah.
1983 will
But
work.
generally speaking, what I mean is pre AI era cars. They're you can drive them forever, man. They have very once there's always one thing. You know what I mean? With each one of the marks that each maker has their linchpin. You know what I mean? That's sort of built in. So for example, I had a Lincoln MKZ, and it had the 3.5 liter Duratec. And that's a Porsche Ford designed engine. It's an incredible engine. Car and Driver, read about it. It's amazing. It's what the EcoBoost is based on. But this particular engine had one linchpin, is that the timing system, which is very sophisticated, is tied directly to the water pump, and that's inside the crankcase. So it's, it gets oil and lubrication. And it's the single fail point of that engine. Once it's changed and once it's repaired, which is like a $4,000 maintenance cycle, every, let's say, 180,000 miles, like it's significant. That's a significant cost to ownership. But like generally speaking, once you fix the linchpin, like it's perfect. You can boost those things, like it's crazy. Great engine. And it's like that with every maker though. It's literally like that with every maker. So like post, I want to say 2004 and up, there's all kinds of crazy stuff. You have to watch out for the electronic power steering systems, and like especially cars that have like OnStar or any kind of like takeover control. Like I've been worried about that stuff a long time.
All right. So Peter, do you have anything you want to finish saying? Because I know you got cut off a little bit.
No, that's all, folks.
All right. All right. So any last
Hey, I got one more thing. Yeah, I got one more thing. So like what hey Clark, what is it that I always say before I leave the room, man?
Well, you say Semper Fi and a few things. There's a few things.
No. I always say what? Much love. Or I always say, I love you all very much.
Yep,
Right?
love you much, very all, and yep.
Yeah, and then we always close by talking about the worldwide party. But I think we covered that already, right?
Yeah, we did. You mentioned that earlier. So
I love you all very much.
We love you too, Perez.
All right. Does
Perez for Perez.
I love you all as well.
El Minger, yeah.
It's Mangina.
Yeah.
Old Greg.
Yeah, old Greg, but downstairs mix up.
All right, that was good. Misha, you got any final thoughts?
No, great show, guys. It's recorded if you guys jumped in later, if you want to watch it.
How did we do?
It was a great show. Great show, guys.
Good.
We'll be back for Good Morning Access tomorrow. We'll be streaming that. We'll probably have more streams and whatnot. But yeah, join us again tomorrow. And Clark, you want to close us out?
Drip, any final words before I close out?
Just the usual. Just stay moving forward. Keep your mind and keep everything positive as possible. Because we're going through all this chaos and shit, and that's what they want. They want us to be indulged in all that bullshit, and that's all it is. It's bullshit. So just stay focused on everything around you, and just spread love. But yeah, check us out every day, Monday through Friday. Truth Tellers, come back, chill with us, and we'll catch y'all later.
I love y'all very much.
All right, so this has been another episode of the X Society Truth Tellers. Thank you to all my listeners and my speakers and my co-hosts.
Spread the good news. Spread the good news. Tell everybody.
Drip, LA, thank you for joining. Peter, thank you so much for joining. Jana down there, thank you so much for joining us and spending the whole time with us. Torin, thank you. Al Mangina, thank you. What a funny fucking name. I love it. Okay, so this has been another episode of the X Society Truth Tellers, and stay classy, America.